last couple of things. Then let's talk broader picture. Ray, where do you see the vision market, the automation market? The next sort of 3 to 5 years. Where do you see that going? What are the big what's going to be big in uptake, and what are the big things?
Through the roof. I think the next 4 years are going to be incredible. We are. So here's where I'll try to answer your question directly. I think automation is just going to be unbelievable. One thing that COVID has taught us is we need automation to supplement our manufacturing. CI was very fortunate that our employees stayed here and continued to work throughout the pandemic. But that's not easy. And as a small company, we've invested over $1 million in the last 2 years in automation. What we see coming, especially in terms of the Internet of Things, where I can get on a website, configure something, and that goes to a production line, and in an automated fashion, it knows what it is.
Yeah,
it's happening. I think that one of the things the pandemic did is it fast forwarded technology to where we need to adopt this stuff. It's happening now. People need to be able to operate from their computers, make a custom product, and see it come out of the factory in as much of an automated fashion as possible. Because quite frankly, in a pandemic, people don't want to work right next to each other. We were very lucky to have people here. And in a factory, you people are everything. If they're not here, the machines don't run. I think there's going to be rapid adoption of robotics. I'm seeing mom and pop shop buy collaborative robots that cost $6,000.
That's crazy, right? Yeah.
It's amazing. I think our industry in particular is going to do exceptionally well in the next 4 years.
Yeah. Sure. And Shaun, would you reflect that? The US market in particular, like to grow. That's why I guess our European, manufacturers. It's so important to have a distributor like Sabre One involved.
So I agree with Ray. I think robotics and AI are definitely the future.
Mm-hmm.
We see it more and more. I mean, I have a couple of jobs right now that we're working on automating plants. That said, too, I think there's something really important to be mentioned when you talk about AI and robotics, that people think it takes jobs away. And for instance, this plant we're working in Chicago, which Ray visited with me, the operators of the equipment are actually going to have a better job, make more money. It's going to increase productivity, and they're going to be trained on the products we're installing. So it's not taking jobs away. It's actually making jobs better for the people that are there. And I think that's really important for everyone to understand. Everybody always says that, automation is going to take jobs away. And Ray's friend, who's a carpenter, made a very good point one night. A friend of his named Tree Walsh, who's a carpenter, said the nail gun didn't take any jobs away from carpenters. Yeah. And I think that's a great analogy. So I do see automation and like Ray said, the Internet of Things definitely being the biggest part of the future for business.
Okay, that's fantastic. And as far as European manufacturers are concerned, in terms of reaching that growth in the US market, Shaun, why is it important to work with a distributor like yourself?
Well, I mean, one of the value adds that we have is we understand what products go together and get you there faster. We also stock the products. We understand the products. I mean, if you have a camera and a particular cable or a particular lens, the customer doesn't always really appreciate how the three go together and why they shouldn't use one product with another product. And we know that. So that's our biggest value add, is being able to put a system together without you buying parts, returning parts, and trying parts. Yeah. We kind of know what goes with what.
And when you take a vision professional like Shaun, we've added another layer of complexity to vision systems, and that embedded vision systems are generally, we're seeing a huge movement for embedded vision to be connected to a microcomputer like a Jetson Nano, as an example, with AI riding on the Jetson Nano. Well, now it's not taking a camera and connecting it to a camera cable to a frame grabber and installing the software. Now you're really doing an integration piece, because it's going to be embedded vision, a microcomputer, probably a power supply, maybe some lighting. And now you've got an application that's got to be written for the FPGA. So you really need somebody who does that for you, who kind of leads you around that. And Shaun's always been very good about saying, hey, I know an expert in these different fields, and I can quarterback this thing. And I think that's going to be really important for embedded vision, that you really do need a vision professional to put all these pieces together and make it work. I've seen a lot of people fail at this, quite frankly. They don't realize that there's some real complexities in integrating all these parts.
Yeah. Okay.
Ray, the GPU is definitely becoming more and more prevalent. PCs are going away, and GPUs are really what everything's going to.
Okay. Ray, I'm going to final word from you. You mentioned obviously cables. Everyone knows you very, very well for. You mentioned sort of the enclosures business. You know, it was a recent launch in the last couple of years, and other sort of vision accessories. Tell us briefly just about sort of the entire product range and where our readers in Europe how they can, you know, what's the best way for them to get in touch, or how do they purchase or you know get your equipment in Europe?
Yeah, so CI works through a distribution channel in Europe and all over the world, really. So that the best way to get in touch with us is, one, through a distribution channel. Two, go directly to our website and configure a product, and we'll direct you as to where to go. So we're very good at sort of making things easy to configure on a website, because when you have over a million SKUs, you need an easy way to put them together that actually works. So, you know, when you configure something, that needs to actually be available, not just vapor. So that's really critical. And the other thing is that the other reason I tell people to contact us directly is it's difficult, especially in today's day and age, if we're gonna put together multiple components for you, like cables and enclosures and whatnot. It's helpful for us to understand your needs and fulfill that in terms of a three-dimensional drawing. Make sure you understand what it is that we're going to provide. So it is a very technical, customizable world. Yeah. And we try to be very adaptable to that. And from there, we're always happy to direct people to the appropriate sales channel.
That's fantastic. Okay, gentlemen, that just leaves me to say thank you very much for your time. That's wonderful. Thank you very much.